Hey friends, Dave here at Transfer Express, and today we're talking about the heat press advantage and why every apparel decorator, clothing brand, or t-shirt business can find success, profit, and grow their brand with a heat press. Now we're going to look at the top 10 benefits here today that heat presses provide decorators and how they empower everyone from home-based businesses to even large commercial print shops in the US succeed. Are you ready? Well, let's get right to it. Now, first up on our list here today is the initial cost of the investment. Now, heat printing is popular in part because of its accessibility and low cost compared to other printing methods. With a heat press, all you need to get started printing apparel is the press itself, and you could source custom transfers with professional quality and print only when needed. No need for inks, screens, emulsion, fixative, dryers, squeegees, or other consumable materials like chemicals for cleanup, which greatly reduces your initial investment. Now, with a low cost of entry, you're maximizing your return on investment while still producing retail-ready finished quality. Embroidery machines, direct-to-garment printers, and screen printing setups can cost quite a bit when you're just getting started. And for a startup business and/or a growing brand, sometimes it's hard to justify the cost or ever even recoup your initial investment. Now, the second advantage to heat printing is the quick and easy use, operation, and learning curve. Now, without complicated processes of burning screens or having to figure out software or the right amount of fixative to spray down, say for like direct-to-garment printing, heat printing allows you to quickly learn how to create custom apparel, focusing on the things that you're going to need to know for any method, like proper print placement. Now, for startups, it's great because with professionally printed heat transfers and quality heat transfer vinyl or HTV materials, you have retail-ready quality within an hour of plugging in the press for the first time. Whereas it took me, personally, 3 weeks to learn how to screen print properly back in the day on my kitchen table until I was satisfied with the quality. And I was just trying to print some merch for my band to sell. Now, for growing businesses, it makes hiring and training very quick and easy, allowing you to add employees and have them be proficient and productive in just a few hours, not days or weeks of hands-on training and onboarding. Now, part of that low learning curve is thanks to how efficient heat printing is, without the need for any of that setup or teardown we mentioned, other than flipping a switch and dialing in your application settings. It's very easy to switch from job to job, making it preferred for if you are selling apparel online or doing e-commerce fulfillment, but more on that here in just a minute. Now, with some heat transfers applying in as few as 4 seconds, you could have prints faster than you could pull a squeegee. And it's fully completed. No need for additional dryers or curing or anything to get the ink set and permanent on the garment. Now, coming off of efficiency, and because time is money, next up on my list, my favorite benefit of the heat press: high profit margins. As affordable as heat printing is, you could create those retail-ready prints that sell at the same retail price as any other print method, commanding healthy profit margins, a win for any business. Now, as part of some of those premium decorations are the versatile print methods that you could utilize on a heat press. You could use pro-quality transfers like screen printed transfers for the real deal plastisol ink print and look and feel of traditional screen printing, or direct to film or even hybrid transfers for detailed, full color artwork that has typically only been capable with direct to garment printers. Well, not anymore. Even specialty effects like glitter and foil is simple. Even dimensional puff prints, twill or felt applique, those PVC patches, dimensional embroidered patches, flex style emblems, and leather. You're able to emulate and achieve all these printing methods with just one machine, not a shop full of equipment. Now, this allows decorators the capabilities to be competitive with other national brands or print shops, and it allows you to say yes to all of the projects that your customers are going to request, maximizing profit for you as a decorator and allowing you to take on more projects in the long term. Now, of course, not only can you print with just about any finish, but you could easily find solutions for printing on just about any fabric or product. 100% cotton, polyester, blends like 50-50s, 60-40s, or even tri-blends, or those more difficult to decorate synthetic fabrics like nylon, rayon, spandex, or even something like lycra. Just be sure that you're utilizing the correct heat transfer for the correct substrate that you are printing on. We'll link a guide that's really helpful down in the description below. Now, with all of the fabric covered, of course you could print on just about any product too, from t-shirts to fleece, jackets, backpacks, accessories, tote bags, and so much more. Any product that could fit under the heat press can be decorated, allowing many more items to print past the limitations, say, of direct-to-garment printing, screen printing, or even those specialty areas that can't be hooped or loaded onto an embroidery machine. Now, with the ability to print any quantity with quick setup and minimize downtime on pretty much any product, heat printing is perfect for e-commerce or on-demand printing, essentially only printing the blanks after an order is created. Now, heat printing on demand is going to reduce the risk of any unsold styles and eliminates the need for expensive bulk runs of apparel and room to stock all of those shirts while you are still maintaining high profit margins. Now, with low or no minimums on many different types of heat transfers, you can even order transfers or apparel after the order is placed. And with the quick turn times and efficient printing, you're still able to produce apparel in a short turnaround time of just 3 to 5 business days. Stock a small selection of apparel and maybe a few heat transfers on hand, and you could print and fulfill orders the same day if needed. Now, utilizing the same garments for multiple prints or designs reduces the financial risk even further and keeps your inventory agile if, say, one design sells better than another. Now, we actually have an entire in-depth video of how to print on demand with a heat press. We're gonna link that one right down in the description below so you could learn more and accelerate your e-commerce, team stores, or any online stores for yourself or your customers. Now, we did kind of touch on it earlier when we were talking about different finishes and effects that you could achieve with a heat press and no need for a whole shop of equipment, but a heat press has a very small footprint, allowing you to professionally decorate apparel from just about anywhere, at home, a spare closet, a bedroom, a basement, a spare office, or even on the go, with many presses easily portable for printing on site. For things like popular personalization stations at gift shops or retail stores or events, sporting tournaments, or even something like those custom hat bars that you see popping up all over the place these days. Now, for growing businesses, you could definitely maximize your space and increase your production volume without requiring a larger facility or having to buy a building or expand or get any warehouses for these huge, big, bulky machines and dryers. With just the space of a couple tables, really, you can see that we could fit a couple heat presses around me here in the studio. We could have 2 or 3 presses pushing out well over 180 prints or more per hour. Now, for retail locations, many presses are small enough to fit just about anywhere, be it the back room or right on the counter next to your point of sale system, giving you the ability to do personalization. Somewhat along these same lines here, another advantage of the heat press is simple and easy customization. Now, heat presses have been used for customizations like names and numbers on sporting goods and athletic jerseys for many, many years, and for good reason. They're durable, versatile prints for printing on synthetic or polyester fabrics that you're going to find on athletic wear. Now, with just a heat press, you could add on any customization with huge, high profit margins that are going to wow your customers with the finished result. Now, to round out our top 10 list of why you need a heat press and the benefits to your business, let's chat maintenance, or essentially the limited need for it when you have a heat press. With just a heat press and custom transfers, there is no messy cleanup, tuning, or fixing, or print heads to replace, or ink lines that are going to clog. And this is going to greatly reduce your downtime, increasing your reliability, and keeping you printing, selling, or really whatever you do best. You're just not going to be fixing or troubleshooting why you can't be productive like you will be with a lot of other pieces of printing equipment that you could invest in. Now, heat presses can be stored away when not in use, and the only prep that you're going to have to do to get them running is essentially going to be to plug it in and turn it on. Easy and simple. Now, we do have some tips for regular maintenance that you could perform periodically, which does involve keeping the press clean of dust and lint, as well as adding some oil to hinges and any moving parts to ensure effortless operation long into the future. Now, of course, before we wrap up today, I do want to mention some important things to consider in a heat press that go beyond the standard reasons why that we covered here today. And that is some upgraded features or benefits that could really simplify and speed up your workflow, as well as ensure accurate placement and that quality application that's going to make your customers love you. Now, not to mention, it can help eliminate misprints and spoilage that's not only frustrating, but could start to impact your turnaround times and your profit at the end of the day. Now, the first feature I like to look for is threadability, or essentially the ability to open the garment and load it onto the press like a pillowcase over a pillow. Now, this is great because you isolate just one print area in one layer of fabric, and it really helps me ensure my garment is loaded onto the press straight without any wrinkles, reducing crooked prints and greatly speeding up the process of loading a garment, aligning the graphic, and then taking the garment off of the press. Now, on our Hotronix auto clam that we have right here, you can see coupled with the caddy stand, it is 100% threadable and even adjustable in height, allowing us to have a super comfortable position when printing all day long with great visibility of our printing area to ensure we're printing in the right spot. Now, another feature that is an absolute must: accurate temperature and pressure. Now, many low quality heat presses don't have adjustable pressure, or they don't have adjustable pressure over the center of the platen, instead having it on the back of the press, introducing pinch points of higher pressure along this back edge of the platen, which is not good. What you want to look for is over the center pressure adjustment to ensure the pressure is even across the entire printing surface, which is going to produce flawless prints at the specific pressure setting that you need. Now, this auto clam that I have right here is actually going to level the heating element just before it closes, making even, uniform contact across the entire printing area without any pinch points or higher pressure. Now, temperature is also another variable to check in on. Inexpensive heat presses have very thin heating elements which struggle to retain heat when printing more than a few shirts, making you stop and wait for the heat press to heat back up. Or if you're rushing and not paying attention to the thermometer settings, you might start under applying transfers and ruining garments. Now, with those heating elements, you may even notice a 20 to 30 degree difference than what the temperature setting tells you that it's at. Not good for precise recipes for those application instructions when you're trying to create quality, retail-ready apparel. Now, of course, interchangeable lower platens, or at least the optional ability to upgrade, is a must-have for me. If you're printing different items like youth garments, onesies, pant legs, arm sleeves, or inside tags often, they make printing these specialty locations an absolute breeze. These Hotronix presses, pretty much any one manufactured since 2014, are compatible with the quick change platens that make swapping these platens out an absolute breeze. And with something like this tag-along HP platen, you could reduce total impressions by printing the tag on the inside of the shirt and the front of the t-shirt at the same time. Now, I hope this video helped with some of those benefits of why you need a heat press for your brand, business, or shop. You'll see your capabilities expand along with your profit for sure. I can almost guarantee it. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe right here to the Transfer Express YouTube page for all of the t-shirt business tips, tricks, inspiration, and education that we're dropping every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing. And happy